nice aggression with the native.
Not bad advice, actually. This might do the trick.
Let's talk about our right to work. No, I'm not a fighter. I'm a worker. We were promised work. Main gate's locked, and I don't mean the scrawny mess punk. Why don't you go?
It would be better for...
No! They will give up eventually.
Lorry stuck in the windows are clear. An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic. A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, "I am Philip III, the Squanderer." Not a good track record of mental health in that family. Even by the standards of the Philippian kings. Well, he blew through the whole national treasury, starting the decline of one of the penultimate. His own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy. Stories have it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber, where he stored unfathomable wealth. Krugerrands, bars of gold, ornate weaponry, armor, and various chalices. He called it the Sol Auron. It was obscene. There were whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers, like some oak.
The man certainly knew how to live.
But wait, you haven't even heard about his... You see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury on gold and ceremonial weaponry. He was also a prodigious snorter of nose candy. His Majesty's courtiers said it helped him connect with the higher realms. That's what the revolutionaries said 150 years later, right before they emptied out the royal mausoleum beneath the cold waters of the Insulindian Bay. The original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the landing. Most historians think the coalition's hasty landing may have... Some years ago, a group of liberal, artistically inclined individuals, designers mostly, thought it would be ironic to restore the statue of the most wasteful ruler of Revachol in the poorest part of the... The statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time, a rare butterfly trapped in amber, float. People in Martinaise tend to disagree, as do many prominent art critics and thought leaders. Philip III, the Squanderer, however, with his bronze face up in the air, doesn't seem concerned about what the hoi... Not that he ever did in life either. The small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. The photo, an ambrotype from the turn of the century. It's the warmth of a winter night's fire. Maybe she could give you comfort and shelter. No response. Wherever this woman is, you're nothing. Her...
Wait. She's just a distracted old woman. Better to leave her alone. Why? I just told... guess.
This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. The metal feels a thick layer of graffito covers the lenses. You spell that's Kuno on the lens. Under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies a coast studded with concrete and reeds. On it, a church on stilts, lanky weather-worn wooden planks, an X-shaped cross topping its tower. You know this to be the star of Pericanasis, or the Cairo, the central symbol of the Pericanassian church, a star, a great moral height to be strived towards. The church looks old and weather-worn.
Snowflake is like a little gift from the sky. Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that, and the work of a policeman or a private detective is exciting to people, I guess. They get to... You don't look much like a policeman. Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen. What's that mean? And everything's better now, sir? Why is that? Oh, okay. I shouldn't have said that thing about Dick Mullen. More about books, maybe? Oh, kings and queens. I think that's why people read them. To find the secret.
Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them.
But it does make the famous people more famous. Why would they do that, sir? That's so cool. Maybe they'll make you a book cover picture and everything. Standing over a dead body, holding a gun.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are an endless variety of source books, lore books, and there's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art. The books in a board game section? Who wants to read books? There's a box that says Wirral, 3rd edition mega setting That price is steep, but then it's the 3rd edition mega setting supplement, so it makes sense.
Wonderful board games, sir. The Viticulturist is a classic. Browbritter is a fun game of economic competition.
Who are you going to play board games with? Do you have friends or family? Are you actually friends? Or just colleagues thrown together by circumstance?
Friends are technically like family. For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you build a
You see a set.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only. Nothing. Now please go back to browsing the books.
She speaks almost as if she's trying to put. Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtain, you see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from. This is a traditional Seminese ward, meant to provide protection against inhabitants of Ile de Fantôme. Aside from poking at it suspiciously,
Welcome to crime, romance. Be welcome. And please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this. I am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture. Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post? Wonderful. Did you talk to her? Great. On a scale of 1 to 10, how...
her opinion of her daughter depends on how well she lured you into the store.
Come now, it's not personal. It's about proper sales practices and market research. I guess it's better than nothing. She'll have to try harder next time. Mind your own business, sir. In our society, people don't get to tell each other how...
Denial is the way she copes with criticism. The woman before you scans the store. An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the company. Silence. No one answers your call. The tear machine stands in the corner. Your bottles clunk into the machine. And
Yes? Me? I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation. Ah, if you insist. What do you want to know? That's because I'm half Seolite, or quarter. It's a part of the world, officer.
Seo is a protectionist. isolationist pan-Isolari state west of the Insulindian.
You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't speak a word of Zeolite. I've never met either one of my grandparents, and I've... That's correct.
You feel a slight urge to put the lieutenant down for this, but you can't quite muster enough testosterone.
I guess you don't need glasses. Good. What do you want to know? No, it's not a particularly. The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that. Then you are in luck, because we are in the midst of a major strike by the dock workers' union.
Is this a strike then? Or the first shots in a workers' coup?
I expect the case itself to be less challenging than navigating these community matters. This district isn't used to strike, coup, revolution.
You feel something rising through you, a familiar feeling, an opinion taking form.
Politics is habit-forming and hazardous. It is also irrelevant to police work. You're right to doubt the impulse.
From an imaginary fan.
Now, was there anything else you wanted to... You mean like a brief? Do you want me... 3 days ago, the RCM emergencies desk received a report, but during that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify a security guard or worker of some sort, hired by They didn't identify. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the... Okay, well, we are police officer. Good.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel. The white suede feels luxurious under the touch, and the...
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? No, and I doubt they'll get back to me before tomorrow morning. Anything else? Just a moment.
10-4, come in, office. 10-9, over. 10-4, message received. This is a very serious situation.
Any other good news?
He's saying he lost...
He what? He lost his badge?
This is Communication Officer Jules Pidieux, sir. Over. You mean your partner? Over.
What is he saying?
He's asking who you...
I'm his goddamn partner.
It's your partner, Satellite Officer Wittmar, sir. Over.
Did he lose his memory along with his fucking badge?
Who lost his badge?
Dick fucking Mullen. Who do you...
It's Officer Dick Mullen from the bestseller Dick Mullen and the Lost Identity.
Dick Mullen is not your name. It's the name of a fictional detective. Defend yourself. Immediately. They're laughing at you.
He says this has probably happened to other policemen before.
Oh goddamn it. Is he fucking kidding?
Satellite Officer Wittmar is wondering if you might be joking and adds that this tarnishes the reputation.
Mullen dicked us.
"10-4, I hear you, officer. I'm just going to make a note here that you are in pursuit of your miss...
Fuck me. Mac, come here. You've got to hear.
What's going on?
Super Copy,
He lost his
badge. He lost his goddamn fucking badge.
He asked you to...
Why did he...
Sergeant Person was wondering if you found your badge yet.
You don't have a comeback. Sorry. It's hard to think like...
He's not replying. 10-9.
New Heights even...
Ask him. Sergeant Person wants to know if...
Oh, fuck. Even even before you can get the word.
He says he didn't lose his gun.
Ask him to describe it. His gun, not his...
Satellite Officer McLean requests a description of...
Oh, request a description, huh? We'll give him one. Describe the plasma gun.
He says he...
Dear God, he lost his...
This isn't really a...
Macam faced a giant of coke.
Oh, I'm not going to.
Ask him.
Sergeant Orson here is wondering if you are still in possession of your genitalia. Over. That's a negative. Not going to say that.
What's he saying?
He said he sodomized your mother.
The prick ate Mama's vanilla waffles at the captain's birthday. Shut up, Chester. This isn't... Tell him to apologize.
Sergeant Orson requests that you apologize for the claims that you made about his mother. Over. He says he's sorry.
Okay.
Tell him to find his goddamn badge.
Satellite Officer... 10-4, affirmative. Officer...
Oh, God.
Officer, do you need further assistance? Roger that. 10-10, over and out.
The dented yellow mailbox grew. There is a hollow ring as you kick the box. It sounds like it's mostly empty. Your toe has suffered damage.
Cool.
He does not actually think it's cool. If anything, the lieutenant feels sorry for...
I don't.
He must see the box as the weaker of the two. The mail collection.
Can I help you? Yes. Have you? Yes.
You should totally sing karaoke here, the first chance you get. Your emotions need to be expressed. People need to know you're exactly through a PA by other people. Kim also tries not to look at the pile of tape viscera on the carpet, or the weird...
I can see that.
The bed is cold and not... A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression. The window stands broke, the morning light.
Yes? Excuse me? Detective, if I may be frank, you see,
Oh, so you're an unaccountable wreck who has to be supervised? You don't have...
that's good. Except that I do, detective. Some you time? This is a police investigation. Please do. We wouldn't want your...
The lieutenant is pretty A sturdy metal door guards the southwest entrance to the apartment building. It's locked.
Madame,
There is no reply.
Hey, up here, piggo.
Just an ordinary wall.
there must be another way into the building.
Hello again. How can I help you? Sure thing. She didn't seem like a policeman, although she can, truth be told.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your...
Miraculously, his face does not reveal what's happening inside.
You're right that she could cast aspersions on the fort.
My apologies, officer.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it now. You'll just have to
Sure, man. Sure. Let me have a look. I'm not purchasing any more clothes, and especially that tie. It swallows photons around it. I have no need for necrotic objects.
Your mother is a necrotic object! I'm fun! Look at me sparking in the light of the project.
Oh, no. I don't like aphotic paths, counter-radiance networks, anti-magnetism.
You have absolutely no idea what aphotic paths are, but the tattoos are...
Another time, perhaps.
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets display. They're not all blue. These figurines...
Which ones? Ah, those. Yes, they are.
A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps. The light pole has been carefully cut. This would make quite a statement in your living room.
Yes, officer. As you... It was brought to me to be altered.
We are not here to investigate the theft of city. You have to admit it's rather clever what he's done with it.
700 real. A bargain, I dare say. There's also the matter of rewiring, but the most important...
Shine on these sunglasses.
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material. It's nothing. Someone just left some roofing material slanted. Because there's a secret door hidden behind the panels of Eternite. There it is. You see a shabby little door.
What is this then? A tool shed?
Be still, my beating heart. The lieutenant isn't studying the power. There's a good vague way to ask where he stands on drug use. Professionally, I mean.
Perhaps not. This is below our pay grade, detective. See that ladder there? It's...
Looks like someone left his tarpaulin cloak hanging on the railing here.
Yes, it's probably yours. It bears the RCM insignia, and you could probably make the jump. You look like you've done some track and field in your day. The cloak? I do think it's yours, yes. Well, it doesn't seem too dangerous.
The cloak looks like a bag of goodies floating in the wind. The wind is aggressive up here. The lieutenant looks at the enormous crane towering in the look in his eyes is a mix of the engineer-like interest and the wonder of a 6-year-old seeing a horse for the first time.
I think there's a certain beauty in this giant pair of...
He turns back to the sad piece of fabric flapping in the wind.
I was under the assumption, or it could be that we had just...
He's thinking you've forgotten where you are again. A tarpaulin cloak is still caught.
Does Kuno care? The fuck about it? Kuno doesn't give a shit about... Kuno's fuck gimp's got one big thing wrong with him. He's a... Look at him. Fucking growth hormone shit. He's a... Kuno doesn't give a shit about that freak armor. Kuno tried to get the helmet on. It was too big. Kuno kicked that shit in the sea. Rugby... Yeah? That shit means nothing to Kuno. Kuno doesn't give a... You wanna fuck on someone about that armor? Go fuck the mustached union... Yeah, cock and boot. You know that jolly union cow fucker came around to...
Yes, you met him at the gates. The one with the boots and the jolly smile.
Yeah, he's the one you want to talk to. He's fucking crazy about that armor shit.
Curious, my liege. Why did Kuno feed you this information?
Yeah, Kuno's doing charity today.
Still, seems suspicious. He may have it in for that.
Fuck are you talking about? What is this contusion?
He says you're stupid, Kuno. They want to make you stupid again.
Oh, did Kuno make your shit sniffing harder? Obstruction of shit sniffing?
You hear the lieutenant hum.
Just a couple of pigs sniffing around in the dirt. That seems pretty...
Yeah, you tell the faggoty, Kuno.
Looks like you're a faggoty now. Whatever that means.
Fuck you.
He says you're stupid, Kuno.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
They're lost without you, Kuno.
Why don't you figure your shit?
Maybe we should.
You're testing...
Get lost.
You found Kuno's secret door to Kuno's secret shack. It was closed for 5,000 years. How the shit? Get the fuck out.
He can't do that, Kuno.
Pigs can't displace. Can't do that teleport shit. How did you like it in there, pig old boy? Kuno's got a lot of cool shit there, right? Of course you fucking can. How do you think Kuno made all the docky boys his gimps? Just got a fly, pig. Not everyone can fly like Kuno. You're old.
Moose piss is probably alcohol. That's all there is to it then. Don't be a pansy. Just jump.
That's where Kuno gets his daily hit of electric.
Bet you'd like to ride the lightning too, wouldn't you? You feel tired and old, but you could have...
It's a vitamin, pig. Don't you...
You could use some.
Yeah, it's the mag. You fucking need that shit to stay on...
Oh, don't teach him, Kuno. He's gonna use it against you, Kuno.
You're not getting this, pig. It completely takes...
Fuck you, pig. Don't do...
Oh, that? Kuno decapitates pigs. That's just a Kuno demo tape. Yeah, to the both of you. What's your... Is it? You got pretty fucked. Kuno's surprised. Don't sweat it, drunk pig. Kuno will keep your nasty...
He's saying you climbed up there. He probably saw you do it. Yeah, that...
Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to... The fuck do you want with... Good call, Pigmeister. Yeah, the kingdom of Kuno. The fuck do you want with it? Look at that fucking shit. You're trying to get Kuno... Fuck does Kuno know?
The lieutenant...
It's a trap, Kuno.
Dunno. Keep that gardener...
Kipped is a pejorative term used to describe people of South Seminole.
Yeah, that's what Kuno said. She couldn't handle the heat, so she took off. Look, Kuno doesn't explain shit. Kuno just says shit.
Yeah. What was she doing in the greenhouse in March? Yes, it seems suspicious. You don't like things...
Yeah, Kuno doesn't know shit about that. That shit is beneath Kuno. Listen. Kuno could hook you up with some sweet rags. Shit like Kuno's wearing. Your side. Look, Kuno ain't seen shit lying around.
The lieutenant remains silent. But his expression couldn't say, I told you so.
Whatever. Kuno was trying to help you, but you're too fat for fouling anyway. Don't be wondering about Kuno's shit, pig. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit.
It's not Kuno. It's Kuno S. Kuno S is by far the worst of the two. Kuno has no problem being near you, but the other hides behind the fence, afraid for her life, like she came up with that psychopathic scheme of screaming for help before. Kuno just wanted to talk to you about his name. Also, Kuno hasn't stopped talking to you, even enjoys it from time to time. When you talk to the other one, it's all in all. Kuno respects Mad.
Fuck you whispering about?
He's whispering too. He's going with it. But watch what...
Fuck you whispering about?
She puts extra stress onto that word. Expect...
If Kuno wants to whisper, he's gonna fucking whisper, okay? Let's whisper, pig.
This is it. You've got him. But be careful. You can still fuck this up. Don't make Kuno look bad in this.
Crazy? You don't know the half of it. She's not crazy. She's insane. Dangerous. She's
Stop talking to him! Kuno, I'm fucking warning you! You're gonna get us into shit!
She understands what you're trying...
Yo, see? Did Kuno not tell you? Kuno told you. Kuno talks to whoever he wants. Talk, pig. Kuno's got it under control.
You did it. They're separated. He's even turned his back to her, so she can't read his lips.
Kuno means she killed someone. That's right. She's a killer. Like, actually a killer.
He's meant everything he said before. But right now, he not only means it, he is sincere.
Killing is serious shit. Kuno's always serious about the 488.
488? The criminal code doesn't go higher.
She's probably killed a pig too. I mean, I'm pretty sure she has. Forget Kuno said that. Kuno was just shitting. Kuno was just running his mouth.
A cop would be too large for her to overpower. But a determined... The creature peers at you both from over the fence. There is something searching Kuno for...
Kuno, that's it. Yeah, she would have liked to fuck him up, but she didn't. Kuno wasn't around, and C was with Kuno. Look, Kuno's gonna put you at ease. We didn't do it.
He speaks the truth, my liege.
Fuck knows. She says it's the song of crazy people. The fucking...
Sounds boreal, like something from the tundra and tiger-covered cutler, Isola.
Surois? Like that man from Shelmdall shit? She could be.
Revelshot does have a small Suroese community, or she climbed into a yakberry crate and was shipped over accident.
Fuck no, she's not my sister. She's just a stray who got in. Yeah, she was just there.
What was that, Kuno?
She was in the hallway, dripping wet, by the fucking shoe rack. Kuno's got no fucking idea. Her hair was all wet. I think she pissed on the floor too. She was there for 3 days. I don't know. Someone left the door open. Kuno comes home and she's sleeping under the desk, under the pile of clothes, like a dog. Kuno's dad doesn't give a shit. Doesn't even see her there, or thinks it's fucking Kuno. Shit's all on Kuno.
Kuno-S, two of a kind.
Yeah, she's psycho. None of that kiddie psycho, cat burning shit. Yeah. Snuff radio shit. Believe me, pig.
And he doesn't even want to think about it. This isn't just another boast.
'Cause she fucking looks like Kuno. No one knows her name. Kuno told you this shit was... How's Kuno dealing? Kuno's dealing just fine. Kuno's got this shit under control. Listen. C is Kuno's go-to. Kuno's protecting her. You fuck...
This is what it all comes down to.
I'm going to kill you. I'll run when you put the cuffs on her, sneak up on you later, and fuck you up. You understand? Alright, now we can do business. Yeah? What do you want? Kuno can hook you up with...
Oh, don't hook him up with shit, Kuno.
See? Relax. He respects the Kuno. Kuno's gonna get you hooked on illegal narcotics if you run a little errand for the Kuno. Get you hooked, pig. Get his hook in you. Then Kuno gonna get... That's right. Kuno's a candy store for pigs now. Get ready to be rewarded. Kuno gets it from his dad. Kuno and his dad are major suppliers. That's where Kuno gets his lightning. Problem is, Kuno and his dad had a little falling out. Now junkies clawing at Kuno's door. Streets going mad. Kuno's got to throw his dirty popo man at it. Don't take for fucking ever. Kuno's got wheels turning everywhere. Kuno doesn't fucking...
Hello again, officer. How are... Well, this might be the last snow we get. Snow has nutrients in it. Helps everything green up in the spring.
Yes, think about the cute grandma, not the weird snow. Stop looking at her. Look around. What do you see? That's right. And the canal, the bookstore, the harbor gates. This is a great vault.
No, of course not. I don't... The kid did this, right? The red-haired rat? Can't say a sentence without or kipped. He's always giving me trouble. Maybe you shouldn't be. I mean, you do your job, but...
You've been resting here for quite a while.
Yes.
I understand. The RCM isn't welcome here, and the locals want to...
There's silence. The smallest of smiles.
That's okay, miss. Do what you have to do. I think we're done here. Let's go.
The streets will flow red once more. A great torrent.
The streets will not flow red within.
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C.
Go where? Accosting a minor?
Listen to your partner, pig man. Keep your grubby hooves off little old ladies.
The lieutenant furrows his brow at another one of your eccentricisms. Hatred, disgust, it's difficult to tell which of the two is more present in her. The woman on the boat does not notice her staring.
That Ozon whore. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
Ozon is an archipelago 2 days' travel away from Rivershore. Its moneyed residents...
Probably the Wild Pines rep. We should talk to her. She's a professional negotiator, though. I have the feeling she will be very cooperative while telling... You should take the lead. Ask her unexpected questions, you know? Do your thing.
Good idea, piggies. Run along now. I ain't no snitch, pigsty.
Actually, there is a shortage.
We weren't put on this... Can't you tell? I'm Peyton. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words. Have you ever tried your hand at graffiti-o? We rarely see pigs round here, though.
She wants it to be something true and total.
Yeah? Thanks. I'm sure the inspiration...
She means the opposite. You've lessened her desire to deface the building.
Watch your back, ungulate.
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her...
Good afternoon, officers. I'm Joyce. Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM. I'm glad to see you here. I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist...
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovered.
There's a trace of irony, mischief even. This is a...
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery.
It's hard to get a read on her precise disposition, but she appears helpful.
First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade in Aliments that gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus. Why? By throwing off half a century of foreign domination under the coalition.
You'd be shooting yourself in the foot, in other words.
But I am derailing us. You wanted to... I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demand.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago. After that, now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter 20 racist behemoth blocking the gates. Yes, Jean-Luc Measurehead. Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when...
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then.
But the strike began in...
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has...
Heavens, no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan.
Ludicrous even. It's meant.
Mr. Clare told him to... how did he put it? Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see. Yes. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
Sounds like usual aggressive posturing.
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. Every worker, a member of...
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker, a member of the board. Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about anything, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group. I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags, a disastrous situation.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear?
I first heard it from the bowyer at the gates, the one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was...
This checks out.
The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock, come to plead for work? If they were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it.
It's implied. She's open to discussing this matter with you at a later occasion.
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood. He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar. Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does. And when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes it. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues. The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but organized labor at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
A mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be...
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened... And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is... Thank you for being candid. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feel... I'm glad you asked. There was a woman...
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore. Or coming to work. Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines suspected foul play. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
There are leaflets everywhere.
Most of the workers probably don't.
In its defense, and unfortunately they... Just so you understand, this is... That may well be. I'm not sure. And now...
Excuse me.
I first heard it.
This checks out.
Of course. How else can I help? That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question. Better not tie the forestay to the backstay on this. I hope there is something else I can...
She wants to answer the question. Protocol keeps her from it.
Why, yes I am. Of course there are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around? Yes, we are. We are on Le Caillou. We are. And the city of Revachol is on the island of Le Caillou. I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Cana...
Actually, that motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol and pursue. It's for crossing long distances in the greater Revachol industry.
Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Rev...
You need to make this lady admit she's only riding around on this. Before you do, it would be pertinent to ask other questions.
Oh my. The E word. You mean to say that it's a symbol of conspicuous consumption? That I'm a member of the ruling class?
Detective, may I remind you that Mrs. Messier is a prof...
Then what does that say? 33A? This old proletarian haunt here. As I said, plenty of people drive boats, of all social strata.
She takes a sip.
Okay.
Nothing happens for quite a while. It doesn't.
My. It's as if there's a tiny spit.
Except he is...
The lieutenant is satisfied with where this is going.
Of course. No worries. We can just go back to discussing my fast, large, interminably The boat? No. It is called
The word, it, feels strange.
It's a pleasure craft. A 19-pacer. It also happens to be rated for... Okay. How about Cordeleche 19? Because it was manufactured in Revachol East by a company called Cordeleche. And it's... What? I think I'll stick with the factory name. But thank you. My sloop? I like it a lot.
I'm enjoying this part of the interview.
I really do, the lieutenant think.
Good. Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsur, and this is my colleague from Precinct 41.
How curious. Why is that, Detective?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of it.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode? Oh dear.
She must have been suspecting something.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional.
Of course, I sympathize. But I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of favors. Consider this. Perhaps she has been planning it all along. That you convince yourself into colluding? Easy. Just offer her a favor, like I said.
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to...
You're in, but expect her to drive her.
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right step, or you can recover your badge. Though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be...
Detective, a word in private before we continue.
Wow, you work hard. Oh, yes, you hustle. You're a provider. Look at yourself. You're a human pedometer. You must have walked. That is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. The world is harsh and people are evil. You didn't make it that way. And you, a little, you make money. You got gills, baby. It ain't easy, but you do it. Day in and day out. Yeah. You're in the sales business. Sure. And has it been easy? Is life Are you rich? That's right. You work harder than anyone. You almost rode yourself to the grave and you're still practically a hobo. What? That's right. 100%. Fuck, aren't taxes almost non-existent in the Gossamer state that is Revachol? You and I both. But they got those indirect modes of taxation. Sales tax, excise duty, 98% of all your money. What are you not sure about? They're milking your nipples till they bleed. Can't you see? Aren't you sick and tired of... What are you, a racist? Don't be a racist. Be a cool immigrant, ultra-liberal free market advocate. Ride or die.
This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective. Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchman. This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along.
He doesn't let it show. But there is a limit to how much Maybe this is all her plan. She might have heard about you.
I wouldn't go that far. Her reaction did come off as sincere to me. I think she's just quick to adapt. She's a professional, after all. No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we are siding with... What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done, and demand for her information on the lynching. Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the...
The situation might have changed.
You could request a new one from the station, but that would literally take months. I'm sure you will, Detective. Yes. Knowing this does not really change our position.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? This reality?
Yes, reality is yours. An experimental side case.
Ah, yes. The
Don't be phased, madame. He functions perfect.
We may be here a while then.
ask...
All right, we're in. I know these all look good, but begin with the first, okay?
These are unimportant times, Detective. It's a neurological disorder called...
She conveys it in short, in case he goes down later, souring the entire portfolio.
It's not just me, Detective. All of Martinez has placed its chips on your success. Well, it's either bariatric surgery...
She nods slowly.
Yes, and perform autoerotic asphyxiation on yourself with your funny necktie, out in the open somewhere.
A bird? A sphenicid? Some sort of krill hunter? Of course you're not, my dear. I'm just terrible at Ah! This is the pier of Rue des Saint-Gilles-Ortu. A pre-revolutionary tenement. Old buildings are called tenements, you see. And new buildings, bâtiments. After les bâtiments nouveaux. But 33A and 33B are not nouveaux. This one used to be 8 to 10s, mostly the urban middle class, I believe. This was once primo real estate.
Splat, splat.
Wonderful. What I am not is a basic...
There may be a way to get her Everyone wants to talk about themselves. She will, in time.
The girl in the old lady rags. Looks like a sullen and rebellious member. Yes, you and I belong to the supraculture. We're common. She prefers a fantasy world, an infraculture with its own dress code and vernacular. It is an illusion. Young people who dye their hair funny colors and wear old people's clothes are stupid. All right. What next?
Suddenly, you're not so sure.
And what would that be? I can see that, yes. I dabbled in those dark arts myself, not so long ago. Nothing infra about disco, baby. Those days are long behind me. And even in the early 30s, I would say I was more of a new girl. The new. A cultural era. And the name of the decade it ravished, the 30s. It involved lots of partying, as you might imagine, and champagne-colored everything. By the looks of it, that would have been when you came of age. Now, of course, you're much more grounded. A serious detective on a case called Reality. Speaking of, is there anything else? We're in Martinez, baby. A casual term of endearment popular among the 50-plus crowd. It's a...
She refers to your correspondent.
Martinez is a district of Revachol. You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant. It's not really a sea, it's the Bay of Revachol. Yes. We're on an island in an ocean. The world...
Known to the early Revacholians as vast, lukewarm, and unknowable.
Revachol, the great kind.
As if it's self-explanatory. Beyond...
History, Detective. They built this city to resolve history. Up in the DeLorean century. The nations of the Occident, or migrant workers from Seminar. They say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. By that I mean conflicts. We are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people in the middle of the Insulindic Ocean. The world's Oh, we're quite a way off. 22 kilometers from the center of the world. That's soldering.
Silence. The water, the light. There is no recognition. Only the immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it.
We are where we are. I have no truer answer to give, unfortunately.
This is one thought you need to complete.
Was there something else?
This has been informative. Thank you, ma'am. Might I suggest not asking them all right now? Messier will be...
Absolutely. My commitment here is long-term.
It's better not to eat all your candy at once.
Indeed. I'm always at your service. Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know.
Is what you want. Look at that lady. Take a well-kept, while dull or... These are within reason. Now look at you. You're poor. Poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money. You're too... Yes. You're too ashamed to ask. Oh God, the lieutenant is here too.
As I was saying, if there's any way, it's quite straightforward. Someone is using
ingredients for
meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, yes. After they clear the terminal, we lose track.
Wild Pine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade.
We're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no. As far as the company knows, the union does... Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the dock workers union.
The handoff. The motor lorries at the round.
Precisely. Someone needs to move the ingredients.
How convenient that this...
Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout. I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share
Uncovering union secrets could...
We did. On more than one occasion. Apparently, there's some sort of inter-priest...
We know the company has launched its own probe into the union's alleged in...
Well, here's your chance, officers. No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. This is a limited time opportunity. Thousands of litres of raw ingredients will pour onto the street.
Well...
What is that?
Why I had to call East Motor Track and beg them to open a drawbridge for me.
I am sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kisaragi, but we need them trapped here. Yes? Excellent. According to my... It may come to nothing. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance. More lessons in basic reality? Glad to have been of assistance. What we do...
There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants...
The Pines' core competency is and that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas.
The Wild Pines group is one of the Saint-Baptiste, ELYSIUM, an unknown...
Why, thank you. I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year, the company booked more than 20... And to think, there are years when the group books losses. Wild Pines employs 72,000 people, all of whom have families that depend... They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian. Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the... You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners? Who are responsible for moving 8% of the work. There are no minor cogs in the system. Each terminal must be accounted for, lest the entire system break. Every hiccup in such a system means thousands lose their jobs, the world over. I'm here to assure that doesn't happen.
With your help, hopefully, says her warm.
Of course, Detective.
The tear machine stabbed. Your bottles clunk into... A colorful display of cigarettes. There, in that dark green glass. All in vain. The great flowing...
Guess not, no. I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and...
Don't ask. Don't look. Don't do anything here.
Hello again, my man. What's on your mind? Ah, man. Me and narcotics go way back. But those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man? Hey, man, that's serious criminal talk.
Entrapment is a practice whereby an officer of the law induces a person to...
Then what's your deal here?
So much for subtlety.
We have a credible lead, sir. Someone...
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad and gotta guard the stuff. Bosses don't look kindly on Miss...
A rhymesmith?
Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here.
We wouldn't say he's lying, sire. Wait. There's something here.
Whoa. What else? Silent communion. That's good. Dang. That's some great shit. You came up with that yourself. Right. But really, no bullshit. That's great stuff. I sort of want... No matter. Great. Just messing with you. It's cool. They're more often into fists than rhymes, see? Let alone...
In a small office behind the old military hospital, hunched under the green glow of his desk light, the lieutenant looks at you.
Well, you've given me some hope, I guess.
You found some common ground with this man. Even impressed him. The woman still...
If you want her attention, you may need to be more forceful.
Where am I? Who are you?
The smile on her face has disappeared, replaced by the weary aspect of her cornered...
Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam. Back in Methka, during the time of the revolution. Until you came along, that is. I wasn't dreaming. I was there, Loman. It was early spring, and the mine behind the Black Sun had just come out. While you, people, were tearing each other apart over your...
The Republic of Mesk is a massive confederation on the Isola of Muindi, the world's largest state by territory.
Someone was. They are someone's memories, boy. They're beautiful.
She seems to derive some bitter pleasure from this strange...
Why not, Harife? It's not like I have anything better.
There's something off about this woman. Tell her to show you the soles of her boots.
Now what do you want with an old woman's boots, Sheriff? Please? I think you should let me get back to Gabriel Buenguerro. You are not Gabriel.
She's wearing stern...
Just before Gabriel, it was the coronation of Franco Negro. Now...
Moreover, the boots were size 37. Tiny. Another discrepancy, although not boot-related, is the coronation of His Innocence, Franco Negro, which happened 500...
I could have told you that from just looking at them. The size is 37.
The feet of a little girl, they fit well on the pedals. Diamonds? Of course not. But wouldn't it be whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine? I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago. Besides, I don't drive the lorry for the cargo. If you know what then it's contraband, lawman. What? Do you want to take...
Bad hand. Hermenegildos' bad hand. Strangled.
What do I need drugs for, lawman? What I see, what I feel. The great adversary, not drug. Then what we're...
This line of question. Maybe if she thought you're corrupt.
Why would I want to do that? Lawman, what in the name of God are you talking about? Maybe. Probably not. Makes no difference to me either way. Just this month, I made half a dozen trips from Saramiriza to Grad, on the U41A. What do you think they take from Saramir? It's diamonds, Lawman, obviously. Easy. It's the skinny man who thinks he's a poet. Never trust a poet.
That's correct. There is no visibility of any of the others.
Where do you want me to go? Or I can just relax and...
I think we're done here, no?
Yes, go.
A lorry stuck. If the windows are clear.
Likely, yes. This guy's proud of...
Looking for something? Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let any... You know where that shit comes from? Saramiriza, Safre. They know they can't beat us in a fair fight. So they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage. Racial economic sabotage. Not in, not out.
So you're telling us that you don't know...
I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted.
There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved this country. We were having a good debate about genetics. Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to.
If they were getting drunk inside the whirling in rags, how could they know who broke into the lorry?
What? Aren't we allowed to say that he's the kips who do all the stealing around here? That's not road to science, man. Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang. That beady-eyed South Samaran. He's lit. Of course he's a lorry driver. What? He tell you he's just some simple... His tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood.
I wouldn't be so sure about it. Not until we've...
Guess so.
Can I help you? Yes. Have you got it? Yes. Yes. a lot. A lot. For a lot. Yes?
You see a heavy steel door where the door does not budge.
Everything's still cool. Drugs? I don't go in for that, officer. Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are excellent. Mwah! Tasty, tasty drugs. That's so cool. You investigating the local drug trade like some cool nut?
A blatant lie, sire. Yet he tells it with such conviction.
Who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him.
So you admit you're a lorry?
No, I just said I work harder, and he's an asshole.
Realizing he can't get out of it. Smart.
Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day. Exactly. It's such a small part of my life. It's in the rear view mirror now. I'm climbing out of nothing. I told you.
And what?
Crowd, you know.
No, he wasn't talking about an abstract crowd. It was that crowd.
Shush, please. There's bad people doing bad things here.
Here we go. There's a tiny bit of truth on the table. Zoom in on it.
It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her, I don't know. Maybe, if she is...
It could be. He's not ruling her out.
All of them. I don't know. I told you.
Who exactly is talking about this lady driver of...
All of them. Even the ones who've left. I don't hang out with them. I don't All right. I scored. Let's cap this off with a purchase. You can walk away from here with funky sunglasses, detective.
Start with a little compliment, then...
Oh, okay.
After all this mess...
An investment?
Or you could not make this about corruption and go with something even wilder.
I hear you, officer. What kind of a sum are we talking about here? Sounds like a fair deal all around.
Corruption.
It's just like bus or seagull. The woman is still hunched up.
I guess getting past the man ain't that simple after all. The little boy had it good on his promise to get me into trouble. To sick the pigs on me, pardon the choice of words.
What happened?
I was asked to look into that armor situation. Official Union probe, you know. Track it down, see who took it.
Did you?
At first I thought, why not? Maybe the pieces can feed the strike. So I went to this boy. He said he'll make me his prison bitch. He's got eyes everywhere, and the cops serves me right for doing menial footwork. I dropped that probe right then and there, and it still got me into trouble. One bad move is all it takes. It's a minor nuisance. It's all good. I learned that people don't want to talk to a drunk Union man about some armor.
What else?
Not much. Technical stuff mostly. That was the... I did some research into this armadura. Let's say I have friends at the library. I didn't get into the material science, just how it...
How does it come off?
In parts. 4 in total. The helmet was the first to go. The kid says he tore it off and kicked it into the sea. I believe him. So, as I count, there are 2 parts missing. The gauntlets and the cuirass. This is where I left off. Too much hassle. More like a job for some militia. Oh, they're just gone. They don't exist anymore, if they ever did at all. Forget about them. I did.
All of it? There are junior officers out there, eager to prove themselves. I would leave some for them, and I would leave the boots to processing, but okay.
It's implied. He finds it unlikely.
And Mesqui's epic there, all across Martinez. I hope it will be a real bonanza for you. No problem. If you see that kid, thank him from Call Me Mañana. Thank him for showing me the way.
He is sincerely grateful. He is not tracking down pieces of armor right now.
Sorry. Busy surveying the situation. Wiretapping, telescopic, or calling in tactical air support. You guys have air support, right? I get it. Hush hush about this.
Something changes in his district.
All right, I may have some advice for you on how to deal with Jean-Luc there. Out of salt. First, don't fight him. Obviously. Second, get him to share his theory by being subordinate. Admit your lack of expertise. Basically grovel.
Maybe that would work.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
Ask what kind of races there are first. Classification is core to this stuff.
Do you?
The lieutenant looks toward the harbor's electronic door.
You are obviously a liberal, Sailite. A polyculturalist. There are 3 categories of race. Type A, the heroic races. Those are the Simonese, the Areopagite, and the Occidentals. Excluding the Mao, a receding genetic pool has led them out unreprehensible. You know them by the names of their nation-states. The Oranese, the Gotwaldians, and the Königsteiners. My people simply call them Mao.
Mahoon is a derogative term for first world people of Gotwaldian descent. They do not all have eczema. Also, people of cut in some municipalities of Oranje, people do wear shoes made of wood to street parades.
The Maun are proof that you can have too much Occidental. The Vespertines and Messenians of Vesper and Messina, the ancient Meteor, the other large Mondial civilization, the Mesk, are too yellow and oleaginous to count as a heroic race. Overproduction of sebum. Sebum is leaking into their brains. As proven by the Maun and the Mesk, Occidental type A is in retrograde. The Simonese and the Areopagite are only the indigenous people of this, the Insulindian archipelago. The Areopagites are the master race of the Ilmaran deserts. The Areopagites are sleek, long-headed. The Simonese are powerful, mesomorphic. The former is an the latter is perfected and adapting.
Nature was not capable of more.
Type B are the unheroic races.
The Khoikos of Grad, Yugo, Zhimsk, Shest et al.
To an untrained eye, the Khoiko appear white and pinkish, like a ham sandwich. But look into their eyes and pinkness is a racial quality that has to be earned through centuries of advanced ballistic. The Khoiko, the countless micronationalities of Grad, are all inexplicably...
Wouldn't he be one for ethnostates?
The Revacholians, halfway between Type A and the Racial Cauldron. Too mixed to know right from wrong. You tried your degenerate little...
Is it 82,000 years that we've been recording history? You have very little idea of what is happening, but that seems a little off.
The revolution came to Ravachol from Grad, in Zarath-ridden potato carts. It is literally an illness. A prion. The revolution is fatal familial insomnia. Enough of Tibet. Tips CF are a museum of failed chimeric experiments. Lesser races like the mosquito, a grotesque mixture of a mess. The mosquito is born sterile, like a donkey. All they have left is to ride customized.
It seems unlikely that two human beings produce genetically sterile offspring.
Then there is the Semino-Koiki Chimera. Oh, that is understandable. You understand nothing. To solve the great race enigma, you have to first ask yourself, what is the race? We will see.
Access to the Union is important for our investigation, but there may be another way.
Am I mildly worried he might take it seriously? The lieutenant thinks. Yes, I am, he concludes. I am worried.
You need to internalize what you have heard here today, then return to me. I cannot possibly imagine what else we have.
Hey, yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building. Yes, you're ready to start building communism again. You've built it before. They've built it before. Hasn't really worked out yet. But neither has love. Should we just stop building love, too? So, what about all that communism you've promised to build? You keep saying things like, down with the bourgeoisie, eat the rich, sodomize the landowners, impale all people who have more than 25 real in their pocket, literally murder all human beings, funky style, very funky. So tell me, do you have any questions before we fire up the big communism builder? Or do... Very well. I guess no one will build communism then. No objections. It's mathematically impossible to achieve a classless society. Anyone? There's one. You should build communism precisely because it's impossible. Oh yeah. Get the firing squads and the animal wagons ready. Too late to back out now. You can't make an
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nicest. We should take care of that then. Let's talk to him anyway. An officer of the RC.
Though he finds this situation frustrating.
Can I help you? Yes, have you got it? Does that arrangement include you paying me what we already agreed you owe me? What about what I have been through, huh?
Literary demotion. That's the worst.
Not until you bring me...
Okay. I might have something in my motor carriage we can use when you're done here.
I really didn't want to resort to this.
Oh, Lieutenant. Yes, have you got it? Yes?
Yes?
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
I have something here we could sell.
Transport enclosure. Regular people. The cage at the back of the...
I confiscated this for a little while back. We can take them to the pawn shop down by the Martinez Canal. There are spinner hubcaps, frivolous things you put on your wheel.
A vanity he wouldn't mind.
Yes, the bird...
Items that can be pawned at Bird's Nest Roy's appear in your inventory and...
The lieutenant nods as you take the spinners.
Greetings on this fine night. What is it? Spring is capricious yet. The pawn shop is always open.
Yes, we'd like to sell these hubcaps.
Roy takes the hubcap.
Yes, these are very...
No one was defrauded or jumped. Are you sure?
Of course.
Thank you. Here's the 130 real you need for your bill. Do not...
The rest is for him. The windfall is a...
Anything else you're thinking of selling? Anything else you're thinking of selling? Another time back.
I help you? Yes, have you... Well? Great. Thank you, officer. That's all I wanted. Payment for services rendered. If you continue to stay here,
He's not sorry about his behavior for your sake. No.
I'll unlock the electronic lock to your room. All the doors lock automatically at 9 p.m. Please pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow. 20 real per night.
I'll take a room here too.
Of course. Always happy to have officers from the RC.
Hey, so we've been monitoring you internally, and now we know your Copo type. Guess. Yes, sorry, cop. Huge lack of enthusiasm going on in here. No, you don't. Come, what? They'll be super, super fine. It's, oh, you know, Apocalypse, Super Stellar, the advanced interesting cop. Of course you are. It's okay. See if you can get something out of this. That won't happen. This is the door to the room.
Just a moment. We should talk about our progress on the investigation. Let's go out to the balcony.
The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum. Then...
Now then, we should talk about the investigation. But I also feel you're a bit hazy on the RCM. Our role here, our rights, our jurisdiction, basically. I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes.
Oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette.
You mean this? This isn't cool. It's an unnecessary trial.
Keeping the habit within the parameters he's given.
Yes. It's been a long and eventful... Well, we inspected the victim's body, so I would say our initial inspection was... Then you shot him in the chest, which wasn't ideal. And we...
By not ideal, he means he can't believe he let you try that trick and would be angry if he didn't feel the outcome was partly his...
Being sober also tends to help with precision. We weren't able to find the union leader, Evrard Clare, much less we tried to interview the Waipang's rep. I have a feeling Joyce knows how dangerous the situation really is. We have to get her to talk to us.
If Kim is emphasizing...
Above all, though, today was exhausting. What's with all the running? You run a lot. Is that a standard Precinct 41 practice? It's impressive, especially for a man your age. And in those nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. Goes with the orange. They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Rebachol Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for, yes, although indirectly, as citizens can always request officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount. We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station closely. It prevents confusion and overcrowding. You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives, though, and have fewer legal rights when they are eventually caught. It's about power projection.
When power calls you.
As you may have gathered from the fact that we are expected to carry a record of our kills, like the one in the watermarks, we are permitted to use whatever force is necessary, and strongly admonished not to abuse that power. You have to supply compelling evidence for why it was necessary to use lethal. Not a good position to be in, by the way. Internal Affairs handles these cases thoroughly, by cross-examining you for inconsistencies. We don't convict. We arrest and send them to coalition government courts in Courant and Adel. The coalition government. The RCM was formed by the coalition government, or perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Revachol or the coalition government founded the RCM. It's probably more honest, yes. Either way, the Moralist Lysis has the right.
Or if they think you do.
The Moralist International are the world's largest political organization. You know who they are. They have been running this place after the revolution. They're a union of center-left and center-right parties across the Real Belt. Our coalition government is just one of its many projects. What do they believe in? They are Dolorians. They believe they continue the humanist project set forth by Her Innocence Dolores Day for centuries.
Those others say they continue the humanist project.
Interesting question. It's a blue forget-me-not. Their motto is love.
Something kind and yet something almost self-explanatory. Something ominous.
The historic figure? The author of the modern age? You will have to look elsewhere. The moral intern are a fact. I try not to have a...
It is more than that. There's some kind of affection in him.
Yes, I did, when I was younger. In my 20s, I considered...
That's another...
But the years have changed that. Do you? We are in what is called the twilight of international law. The laws we claim to enforce come from the MI. Without them, we are simply vigilantes. Sadly, it is what we already are to the people of Martinez. Most of them, at least, especially the Union. Vigilantes.
The dying lights of the... This soldier is the highlight of an aerostatic passes overhead. The whiskers of its floodlights on the ground below.
They really don't like us here. And the mouth on that kid, Kuno. It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union, to the company, not daring to come here more often. We run this city. West of the river is RCM land. It's incredibly hard. Human beings are... But we are in control, and it's worth it. The organization works, our systems work. If they didn't, it's me too. But I wouldn't count on any drastic changes in our lifetimes. Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go.
Lonesome, long way home. Here we go. Home awaits. Walk past Station 41 and through the market, past the Boogie Street spearhead to the other side of the lake, the frozen eye at the center of the district. Then past the video rental store on the corner. There, at the end of a street lined with pine trees, a small house no larger than a matchbox.
Yes?
The bed is cold and not particularly The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags, and then sleep doesn't come. And then sleep doesn't come. Maybe it's the bed's fault. It's a little better. Colors, scenes, and half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Part of you is still trying. Something to do with, what was it that the lieutenant said? Union? And it's gone again. Your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you until your eyelids twitch in your sleep.
Do you remember the scent of your childhood? Do you remember your wife's hand on your face? Do you remember the warmth of her thighs, between her legs and in her mouth? You know who I am. I'm the bad day. The one where you ask her, and then later in the street, reality will turn into a grotesque nightmare. This will be the last thing you did to her. That's right, funky baby. And you just stood there. One hand on the bottle and tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. They were only cramping your descent into the abyss. Now they're gone. 3 times gone, and never. You failed, ELYSIUM. Everything. The Pale and the Isola. You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion. You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours. You're trying to what? I can't hear you. This is just a word dream now.
So something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad, this dry, this... Oh yes, party boy, and it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too. Time to go to work in the shit factory.
Good going, buddy. Oh, just a dream. You have ones like that all the time. You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? It is worrying. It's just that your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system, Buster. Don't do that. Stay strong. The hangover will wear off. You don't need to keep doing that. Speed is a potent central nervous system stimulant. It kept you propped up all day. You got up from this floor because of a holy vow. Don't be silly. There was no vow. Are you sure? Ready to live as this? Suit yourself. Slow, sad shell man. A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression. Like the rest of you, It comes from a bad place somewhere in the past.